In a sense, this is a trap game for the 49ers. They're coming off the toughest 3-game stretch in NFL history. After this game against the Falcons, they're going to face the Rams and the Seahawks, two huge divisional opponents. This is the game the Niners need to win. This is the one that's easiest to overlook. This is the one the Niners technically don't need. I said they need to win it. Richard Sherman says they don't. He said he'd play this week. He has a injured hamstring, and he said he would play this week if the Niners needed this game. Technically, they don't. The next 2 games are more important. But if they win this game, they clinch a playoff spot. It would be very bad to lose to the Falcons. They want to go into the playoffs on a high note. They don't want to limp into the playoffs, and they've lost 2 of their last 5 games. So, yes, this is a trap game. The Falcons have also they're also 3-2 in their last 5 games, just where the Niners are. They have improved recently. They started off terrible. They only have 4 wins, but they've won 3 of their last 5, as I said. And they present the Niners certain issues. I'm going to show you what the Falcons do well and where they're vulnerable. And then I'm going to give you a prediction at the end of this segment. So let's get right to it, shall we? Here. Okay. Let's start with the Falcons' defense. Specifically their run defense. It's very much, remember, the head coach is Dan Quinn, who used to be a defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks under Pete Carroll. So they run a version of the Seahawks defense. The Seahawks defense is very good against the run. This isn't quite it because you got 4 on the line instead of 5, but still you got 8 in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, this guy's a corner, but still 8 in the box. Unlike a lot of other defenses, they still put an emphasis on stopping the run. The 49ers' emphasis is stopping the pass. This team still wants to stop the run, although you can see this is a little bit of a wide-9 look with this guy outside the tight end. Anyway, watch what they do on an outside run to the defense's left. Vic Beasley here sets the edge, which is something you have to do if you're going to stop the outside zone against the Niners. And this linebacker here, Devondre Campbell, fills this C gap quickly, authoritatively, and you got McCaffrey running around in the backfield looking for places to go. This is the strength of the Falcons' defense, their run defense. That's what it looked like when McCaffrey tried to run outside zone to the Falcons' left. Now let's watch what happens when Alvin Kamara tries to run it to the Falcons' right. Alvin Kamara, another elite running back. But this is it's not an elite run defense, but it's excellent. So let's see. This is week 13. I'm talking. Nope. Bear with me. Week 13. Okay. 331. Here. Just want to show you that in the last one, you saw Vic Beasley set the edge really well on one side. Well, do the Falcons set the edge equally well on the other side? Let's check it out. Here's Vic Beasley again over here. Here's their other outside linebacker. Tack McKinley went to UCLA. The Falcons have good linebackers. Beasley's good. McKinley's good. Campbell's good. Deion Jones is good. These 4. It's the strength of their defense. So here the Saints are going to run outside zone this way, the same play the other direction. McKinley sets the edge. And if you watch, Deion Jones this time is going to fill this A gap real quick, take away the cutback, force Kamara to run into a bunch of bodies for a loss of 1. So strength of this team is running the ball, is the run defense. And as well as Raheem Mostert has played the last couple of weeks, this is going to be a tough task for him and the entire Niners running back unit to get going. I wouldn't expect much from Tevin Coleman. Mostert's been playing well. I think he should be able to get some yards, but they would be smart, the Niners, to play Jeff Wilson Jr. in this game. He was inactive the last game. He's a better running back than Tevin Coleman right now. They need to find a role for him, and it's pretty clear. He's the short yardage guy. Make sure this is working. Yep, okay. Now, the big thing you need to know about the Falcons is their head coach, Dan Quinn, was calling the defensive plays until the bye week, week 9. And their defense was getting just destroyed. The deal with them is the Seahawks defense is pretty vanilla and plain. It looks like this a lot of the time with one guy in the middle of the field. This is man coverage. They usually do cover 3 zone, which is 3 deep, 4 underneath. That's what the Seahawks defense has done for 10 years. And offenses really tear it apart because it's so predictable and vanilla. All the teams that run the Seattle defense now use wrinkles. Try to switch it up and be less predictable. Robert Sala's a great example. At the bye week, Dan Quinn removed himself from calling the plays and elevated Raheem Morris, who used to be a defensive coordinator for the Falcons and was a defensive coordinator for the Buccaneers and a head coach for the Buccaneers. He's a longtime DB coach. He was coaching wide receivers the last 3 years. Don't know why, but they brought him back to call the defense, and he's changed it up. Instead of using cover 3 like 90% of the time, he's mixed in other coverages, specifically man-to-man and Tampa 2 zone, which is a little bit different than cover 3. It's something Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be on the lookout for. And it's led to interceptions. The Falcons defense has been much better recently because of Raheem Morris and the wrinkles that he's thrown into this defense. It seems to have given opposing play callers some confusion. And quarterbacks too. So what we're looking at here is last week. This is man-to-man coverage. This is a linebacker. This is a tight end. That's how you know it's man-to-man coverage, empty formation. If this was a cornerback out here against a tight end, it would be zone, but the linebacker went out. It's man. I just want to show you what they can do in man-to-man coverage. Like I said, they have really good linebackers. Pretty good safeties, too. This is press man coverage. It's like perfect technique. He looks like a corner. Hurry up. Come on. Perfect technique. Pushes him against the sideline. Uses the sideline as an extra defender. Runs stride for stride with the tight end. Now, you're not going to see what happens next, so let's check it out from this angle. Devondre Campbell, man-to-man coverage against the Panthers tight end. Running stride for stride. Turns his head, breaks up the pass, and it gets tipped all the way over here to DeMonte Kazee, the backup strong safety filling in for Keanu Neal, who's on IR. So they can cover man-to-man, especially the linebackers, particularly the linebackers, and it's something that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to see a lot. Let's see what they look like when they're doing Tampa 2, which I talked about. So let's go to week 11, if I can. Let's see, week 11. This is against Carolina again. I'm focusing on the last 5 games because this is when the Falcons have really changed their identity and played more competitively. So we're talking 17 seconds left. Here. Okay. It's 3rd and 1. What I want to show you, 3rd and 1. Middle of the field is open. You got split safeties. Most defenses these days, when they play split safeties, play cover 4 with these corners back. Tampa 2, it was really big in the early 2000s. It's what Tony Dungy used with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the late 90s and what John Lynch played. So it's 2 deep safeties and 5 underneath defenders with this middle linebacker running deep to carry a receiver if he goes that direction. It's a look that isn't as prevalent as it was 20 years ago, and it's a nice change up for the Falcons because teams, they use it a lot more than other teams. So what I want to show you is it confuses corners. It confuses quarterbacks. This corner is not going deep. He's passing off this wide receiver to the safety. I don't know if Kyle Allen saw what was coming there. Anyway, it looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. He sails the ball over the wide receiver's head, but you see how the safety gets all the way over to the sideline. If Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be throwing deep towards the numbers, it's going to be against safeties. And this guy, Ricardo Allen, is pretty good, and the other one, DeMonte Kazee, is pretty good. They both had interceptions. I'm going to show you one more. Week 14. This is another Tampa 2 look, except it's a variation. I'll show you. 15 seconds. Where are we at? Here. Okay. So it's 3rd and 20. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. So it's 3rd and 20. They're playing back. They're only going to rush 3. And what it's going to be is, I'll show you. It's going to be like a split safety look again. Just want to show you the things they can do from this look. They're tough. Jimmy better be ready. He will be ready. But look what we got here. Starts off, it looks like it's going to be maybe cover 3 with the safety in the middle of the field and the strong safety down. These 4 underneath and these 3 deep. But after the snap, they rotate. Okay? These 2 are deep, and there's only 3 rushing, so that means there are 5 other defenders in the zone, and what they got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. So 7 other defenders in the zone. 2 deep, 7 under. No, wait, hold on. Math is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underneath, 2 deep, 3 rushing the quarterback. All right. This guy is sort of in between. You got 5 underneath, 2 deep, and this guy right in between, taking away the deep crossing route that you would expect to get right at the sticks on 3rd and 20. So I would call this cover Tampa 2 robber. 3 levels of zone coverage. This guy right in the middle. But what I want you to focus on, again, Kazee, this guy. Watch him. He starts in the middle of the field. He's going to rotate out to the side over here and pick up this guy. All right, let's go. So now you got this wide split safety look. He's picking up this guy while also looking at this guy and keeping eyes on the quarterback. He's way away from this man. He's trying to split the difference because really they're both his responsibility. Quarterback still isn't thrown. He's way over here. Pass is going over here. Kazee makes up all that ground and picks it off. Let's look at it from the other angle. Wait a second. Slow-mo. Slow-mo. Look at him out of nowhere run all the way across and intercept this pass. So what the Falcons have going for them is they have good linebackers and safeties who play this Tampa 2 coverage really well. Kazee and Ricardo Allen are playmakers splitting the field in half. They both can intercept the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo's got to be careful when he's throwing deep. All right. But he doesn't have to be that careful, though, because I mentioned the linebackers and the safeties. The issue with this defense is their corners. They're missing their best corner, Desmond Trufant, on IR, not going to play in this game. Let's go through the corners they do have, starting with their number 1 guy, Isaiah Oliver. He's questionable. He may not even play, but this is their best guy. Let's see what he does here. Went to Colorado, I believe. Same place as Kelly Witherspoon. Where is this guy? Bottom of your screen, right here. Isaiah Oliver, man-to-man coverage, going up against DJ Moore, who is, the Niners have at least 2 wide receivers better than this, or as good as this guy. And I'm saying Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuel. Anyway, just a straight go route, fade route up the sideline, and he has about 2 steps on Isaiah Oliver. Makes the catch. Gain of 38. Watch it again. First thing you want to notice, when the guy is this close to the wide receiver, that's called press man-to-man coverage or bump and run. Bump and run, you got to actually bump the receiver. It's not just run. It's bump and run. There's no bump here. This is just running. And Isaiah Oliver is going to lose a lot of races. He's not as fast as Emmanuel Sanders. He's not as fast as Deebo Samuel. He's not as fast as DJ Moore here. He's as fast as Kendrick Bourne. You know the Niners are going to pick on this guy. The thing about it is, this throw in particular, it's not one we see Jimmy Garoppolo make much. Deep down the sideline. I can't even remember him ever actually completing a pass like this. Or I can remember him attempting one. He attempted one in overtime against the Seahawks, and it was incomplete. It's not really part of the Niners' offense. They like to throw more over the middle. It's open if they want to go for it, but maybe they'll find other things they can do that are even easier, and they should be able to. Let's look at the other corners. Kendall Sheffield. Remember, I said Desmond Trufant hurt out for the year. Hell of a player. He would have been a starter along with Oliver. Now it's Oliver and Kendall Sheffield, who is a starter, and then in the nickel defense, he plays in the slot. So let's go to week 12. It's another big play. 11:26. Where you at? Where you at? Week 12. I'm looking for Godwin. 11:26. Maybe I have to look up Godwin. Okay, I'll look up Godwin. Hold on. Just a second. They don't make it easy on me. Chris Godwin. Week 12. Boom. 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 Not Kamara. Okay. Week 12. All right. 11:26. Here we go. Bingo. All right. We're looking at Kendall Sheffield here. Kendall Sheffield. Right here in the slot against Chris Godwin. Excellent receiver, but the Niners have receivers in his class or close to it. Go, guys. Okay. Man coverage. Or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's man coverage. I don't know exactly. He takes the, let's see, the outside guy. All right, okay. So he's lined up over, this is Mike Evans, this is Chris Godwin here. He's lined up over Evans. He's going to take Godwin. Engages with Evans. Now he's covering Godwin, and he turns his back to the quarterback, and he's chasing man-to-man. Good coverage so far. And now he's gone. I mean, it wasn't even that strong of a cut from Godwin. Godwin just gradually turned right. Gradually turning right seems to give Kendall Sheffield problems. Make note, Niners. I mean, look. That's like 5 yards of separation right there. Let's look at it from the other angle. Right here. Right here. That's big separation, Kendall Sheffield. I mean, you can see Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne, Deebo Samuel wearing this guy out. He's a mark. He's a liability. Let's move on because there's another guy too, Bleedy Ray Wilson. Going up against Michael Thomas, week 10. Let's see. This is now their number 3 cornerback, and he plays outside in the nickel defense. He'll play about 70% of the snaps. Forget Godwin. Let's go. This is just a really bad look. Here we go. All right. Here. Okay. Michael Thomas against Bleedy Ray Wilson. Now, Michael Thomas makes a lot of people look bad, but it's just terrible, terrible coverage. Top of your screen where it says press escape to exit. Okay, right there at the top of your screen. Here, this guy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. Turning the wrong way. Giving up easy separation on the slant. I mean, it's one thing to get beat by Michael Thomas, but it's another thing to do this. And be looking over here. Like, dude, plays over here. He's definitely not running over here, right there. So the Niners should be able to work all 3 of these cornerbacks. And as I said, Isaiah Oliver may not even play. It seems like the Falcons, they know they got 3 games left, and they don't want their important players to get hurt seriously in games that don't matter. So Trufant, done. Calvin Ridley, out for the season. Isaiah Oliver, I don't even know if he's going to play. This is a team that doesn't have a lot to play for, and they have a lot of backups playing, and the Niners should take advantage. Definitely should take advantage. That's what I want to show you with their revamped defense under Raheem Morris. Let's look at their offense. Used to be run by Kyle Shanahan. In the last couple of years, it was run by Steve Sarkisian, who was basically doing a knockoff Shanahan impression. This year, it's Dirk Cutter, who used to be the offensive coordinator for the Falcons before Shanahan. He was the guy that the Niners faced in the NFC Championship in 2013. Now he's back. And the thing about him, he has no clue how to run the ball. He would rather throw for 500 yards and lose, then run for 250 yards and win the game. He is totally obsessed with being a genius with the passing game. And he's not a genius with the passing game, and he's certainly not a genius with the running game. His lead running back, Devontae Freeman, is averaging 3.6 yards per carry. It's not all his fault. He's not getting a lot to work with. Show you what it looks like when they run the ball. This was the first play last week against the Panthers, who have the worst run defense in the league. The worst. That's what it looked like. Devontae Freeman was a monster under Kyle Shanahan. I'm sure Kyle Shanahan would love to have him on a team right now. Right here. Took him all the way to the Super Bowl. Let's see what this looks like. He hasn't had a run longer than 28 yards since 2017. There is something seriously wrong with the Falcons' run game. He missed most of last season, but this season, Dirk Cutter has just killed this running game. Also, the offensive line has some injuries. I'll get into that in a second, but watch this. This is outside zone to the right. You see the conga line moving to the right, but let's pause it, bring it back. The center gets beaten right away, and this was their best offensive lineman for years, Alex Mack. He's a little bit older now, gets beat right away. So that guy's in the backfield. Also, the right tackle, Caleb McGarry, great name, falls over. So you got the right tackle on the ground, the center on a nose tackle's back, basically doing a piggyback ride, and a running back with nowhere to go. 2-yard gain. You see this a lot with the Falcons under Dirk Cutter. No one is fooled by his stuff. When it's time for him to run the ball, it's like the whole defense knows it's coming, and they shut it down. I'll show you one more with Freeman, which may indicate that it's partially his issue. He missed all of last season with a groin injury, and he doesn't seem as explosive as he used to be, and he also doesn't seem to have particularly good vision in this offense. Let's go to Week 13 against New Orleans. Week 13, 10:57. Here. It's another 3-yard gain. This is what the Niners don't have to worry about, basically, against the Falcons. Where we go. All right. This is going to be an inside zone play, and the difference of that, outside zone is a conga line moving one direction or another. All 5 guys go in the same spot. Inside zone, you have this double team always, and the running back decides, do you want to go left, do you want to go right, or cut back all the way. Anyway, he just follows his double team and basically doesn't look around and see if he can find daylight. Let's look what he missed. Gets the ball there, and he's got one hell of a cutback lane all the way over here. He's got nothing here. He's got a guy here, a guy here. There's nothing here. He seems like he sees there's space here, and there's also a pulling blocker who can take care of this guy. Doesn't do it, though. Instead, he hesitates and runs into bodies and gains 3 yards. Could he have had something cutting back? Hell yeah, he could have had something cutting back. So maybe he's not as healthy as he used to be. Maybe he's not seeing the holes as well as he used to. He's certainly not getting much help from his offensive coordinator, but the Niners shouldn't have to worry about the Falcons' run game. It's not good, and their offensive coordinator isn't even committed to it. So let's look at their passing game. First, before I show you what they got, I want to show you what they don't got. And his name is Calvin Ridley. He is a wide receiver who is their big play threat. You think about Julio Jones being their best player, and he is their best player. But Calvin Ridley is faster than Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley scores more touchdowns than Julio Jones. For whatever reason, he has become the big play threat for the Falcons, and he's out for the year. The Niners don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to show you real quick what he gave the Falcons offense and what the Niners don't have to worry about here. Week 11 I'm going to go to. He made the Falcons so much more difficult to defend because of his speed. First, a big play here, 36-yard gain. Calvin Ridley. Bottom of your screen. Here. Real fast. Blows by the defender. A little bit better of a throw, he might have been able to keep running, but as it is, it's a 36-yard gain. That's easy speed. Big play guy. Fastest receiver they have. One more time, off the line of scrimmage. Watch this guy blow by him. This is what they don't have anymore. This would be a problem for the Niners. Again, no bump in the bump and run coverage. Anyway, enough of Ridley. One more, I want to show you what he does in the end zone, in the red zone, which is another thing that I don't have to worry about. 6:47 here. He's right here. Fake the post, puts his foot in the ground there, cuts back to the pylon. This guy has no chance. Look at how open he is. Hard to see him in the glare, but he's so open. He's a hell of a receiver. Kyle Shanahan would love to have this guy on his team. Didn't have him in Atlanta. He was drafted after that. Forget about him. He's out. Let's look at Julio Jones. This is a guy the Niners have to focus all of their coverage on. He is the passing game, basically. There's a tight end too, but the tight end isn't a big play guy. Julio Jones is. So let's look at him. Julio Jones. And to me, he's not the same guy he was in 2016 when they went to the Super Bowl. To me, he's a little bit slower. Still a great player. He's catching 84% of his targets, averaging 14.7 yards per catch. Only 4 touchdowns, but to me, what I see on film is he's just not as fast. He's more of a underneath possession receiver now. So let's see. Julio Jones, week 12, 14:06. You see a lot of this from Julio Jones now. He used to be a lot of running downfield, deep crossing routes, starting here, running all the way over here and catching the ball over here. Now he's just not quite as fast anymore. He's 30 years old, still a great player, still pretty fast, but you see him used more like this now. Let's see. So he starts up the field like he's running deep, but he's not going to win deep. So he breaks it down, runs a deep comeback route, gets open, makes the catch, makes a move after the catch, gets a couple of yards after contact, gains 13 yards. Great play. You see a lot of that from Julio Jones now, that and shallow crossing routes over the middle. He's sort of become the safety blanket. This is what it looks like when he runs deep. I'm going to show you that. 6:45 here. Now, he's going to make this catch. But I just want to show you that he's not quite the same Julio Jones. Here he is down here. Running deep, going against James Bradbury. Man-to-man coverage. They're stride for stride. Bradbury is not a fast corner. A good corner, not a fast corner. Julio Jones has a half a step on him. Great receiver. Makes the catch anyway. It's highly contested. He doesn't beat him with speed. He beats him with his size, with his 6'3", 230-pound frame. This is going to be an issue for the Niners, but I think Ahkello Witherspoon can cover this route. He's faster, or he's just as fast as this. He can run stride for stride with Julio Jones, I think. He's as big as Julio Jones. What I think the Falcons are going to do is try to put Julio Jones deep once or twice against Emmanuel Mosley. Not because he can run by Mosley, but because Mosley's 5'11", he might be able to just bully him with size. Something to look for. Deep against Mosley down the sideline. Mosley will be able to run with him, but can he make a play with the ball in the air against this monster of a receiver? I think that's what the Falcons are going to try to do, and good luck, because they're going to have to block long enough to get that ball out. And that's been the issue. The thing with the Niners last week, why I picked the Saints, I felt, and I was right, not that the Saints were going to win, but that the Niners weren't going to be able to sack Drew Brees. He just gets rid of the ball too quickly. The structure of the offense is all quick passing and screens, and he's so quick twitch for a 40-year-old guy. He gets rid of the ball very quickly. He has short arms. He has quick feet. He can reset and get rid of the ball extremely fast and avoid sacks. Matt Ryan is not that way, and this offense is not that way. It's a much slower offense, and he's a much slower quarterback, and the offensive line isn't good. So let's look at what he's dealing with on the offensive line, starting Week 14 against Carolina. This was the this is 6:15, first quarter. Let's see. Let's go. Okay. Focus on the right guard here. 73. Hurry up. Yeah. 73. Jamon Brown going against Vernon Butler. Loses right away. Matt Ryan stumbles a little bit, gets sacked right away. So we got a stiff at right guard, everyone. A stiff at right guard. Mike Person is better than this guy. Whoever's going up against this guy is going to dominate him. Whether it's Eric Armstead or DeForest Buckner, it'll be a lot of Buckner. Buckner's going to eat this guy's lunch and his dessert and drink his Capri Sun. Next, let's keep it moving. So we've established that the right guard, Jamon Brown, stinks. Now, let's go down to Week 13 against the Saints, 8:53. Yep, there it is. What are we looking at here? Okay. Now we're looking at the left guard, Wes Schweitzer. Backup left guard, filling in for James Carpenter, probably going to play again this week. What happens? This is 3rd and 5. Looks like no one's rushing against him, but watch this guy, 98. Nose tackle. Going to slant to the right. Engage 71, Wes Schweitzer, who just whiffs. That's embarrassing. And you see why he's a backup, and you see why he's not a starter. Matt Ryan avoids Sheldon Rankins, but runs into and avoids that guy too. But I mean, good job, Matt Ryan. Bad job, Matt Ryan. This is all Wes Schweitzer's fault, really. Ryan gets lit up, fumbles, Saints recover. But let's one more time for Wes Schweitzer. It's bad when he doesn't even touch the defensive lineman in front of him and then falls on his face right there. Boom! The Schweitzer flop. So, yeah, whoever's going up against him is going to have a terrific game. Eat his lunch, drink his Capri Sun, use his napkin to clean his face. Both guards stink. I showed you earlier Alex Mack, good player, getting older, has his bad moments too. Now let's go Week 13 against New Orleans. Still there. 44. Let's see. Here, another sack. This is to lose the game. This is 4th and 8 with the game on the line. Not in the game. Is the game on the line? 18-26. Yeah, the game's on the line. Down by 8. 4th and 8. You got to convert here. Let's look at it over here. Now we're looking at Caleb McGarry, the right tackle. His name is Caleb McGarry. That should tell you everything about him. Look at this. Another guy who can't even touch the defensive lineman in front of him. A whiff. Matt Ryan doesn't see him coming. Gets smacked. Game over. Falcons lose. So 3 of the Falcons' 5 offensive linemen are complete stiffs. The center, the bet is getting old, and the left tackle I haven't shown you yet. But the left tackle usually is pretty good. What I want to show you here is how the scheme actually puts Ryan in a bad position, unlike Sean Payton's scheme, which it has extended Drew Brees' career and helps him get rid of the ball so quickly. Dirk Cutter with the Falcons does the opposite for Matt Ryan. He exposes him to more sacks because the drops are so deep. Matt Ryan gets sacked a lot. There are weeks where he gets sacked 7, 8, 9 times because a lot of the times he's asked to drop deep in the pocket. So Week 12 against Tampa Bay. Let's see what this looks like. We're talking 13:35. Here. Another big sack for a 9-yard loss. Okay. What's this one looking like? So it's going to be got all these blockers here. You think you should be able to protect Matt Ryan. It's going to be a play action. And they're going to call this, I'll show you. I'll take it real slow. Play action. And instead of, if he goes out this way, it's called fronting out. And if it's go out this way, it's called backing out. I'll show you the difference. He backs out, which means he turns his back and his entire head to the defense. He has no idea what's going on. If he turns the other way, he can kind of keep one eye on the defense while carrying out the play fake. Now, it won't cause the linebackers to bite as much, but at least it allows the quarterback to see what's happening. They call this a backing out for the play action. It makes the quarterback completely blind. It creates the biggest effect on the linebackers here. But here's the thing. This guy isn't playing the run. He's blitzing. It's 1st and 10. And this is a 7-step drop with a full turn. When he finally turns around, he's got about a second and a half to see that, to basically brace for, he has got like a half a second to brace for a hit. That's it. So we got play action, backing out, 7-step drop, not moving out of the pocket, deep, right in the middle of the pocket. If the Niners blitz it like this, Matt Ryan will be real sore the next day. Easy. That's a slow developing play that really puts Matt Ryan up on a tee for the defense to just clobber him. So that's Dirk Cutter setting up Matt Ryan for a sack. And then I want to show you Matt Ryan setting up Matt Ryan for a sack because he deserves some of the criticism as well. He's no Drew Brees. Although some people like to put him in that. He's not. Let me show you what I mean. Week 13 against New Orleans. I mentioned with Drew Brees, he's so quick, 40 years old. Really, he's got short arms, a quick stroke when he throws. I call that a quick stroke, quick release. Like Garoppolo, even quicker. Jimmy Garoppolo is much more elusive in the pocket, has a quicker release. This guy is sloth-like. He's a platform. Show you 119 late in the game against the Saints. This is on Thanksgiving. Drew Brees and Jimmy Garoppolo both have the ability to move around, reset their feet quickly, and get rid of the ball with bodies around them. Matt Ryan doesn't. Matt Ryan is great when he has a pocket. When he doesn't have a pocket, when he has to move around a little bit and reset, he does it just too slow. He's 6'5". He's got long levers, unlike Drew Brees, long arms. He's high cut, long legs, and he's trying to set his feet and find a little window to throw the ball. Drew Brees would have gotten that ball off. Matt Ryan can't. Let's go through it again. He's in the shotgun. 5-step drop. Looks left. It's not there. Looks back to the right. Knows he doesn't have time, so he needs to reset his feet. He could step back and go over here. Tom Brady could handle this. Jimmy Garoppolo could handle this. Drew Brees could handle this. This would be a completed pass for Drew Brees, or at least a throwaway. Right there, Drew Brees could reset his feet and get the ball out. Same with Jimmy Garoppolo. Same with a lot of quarterbacks. Tom Brady. Not Matt Ryan. If the Niners just get him moving a little bit, they can take him down. And the thing is, I've showed you, this Falcons team, their offensive line is no good. They don't have a sophisticated quick passing game. They don't have a sophisticated screen game. Their run game is non-existent. It's a slow developing, deep throwing passing game with a poor offensive line and a quarterback who's a moving platform and can't throw the ball with a quick release or reset effectively. He's good only if he has time to throw. What could go wrong for the Falcons? I mean, they have some wrinkles on defense, which could give the Niners some problems if Jimmy Garoppolo is careless and just doesn't check the coverage before looking downfield, which he's done at times, but not so much recently. If the Niners take care of business, and I think they should, even though it's a trap game, they need all of these games, and they don't want to go into the playoffs on a losing streak or 500 over the last 8 games. Even though Richard Sherman's not playing, and neither does Jaquaski Tart or K'Wan Williams or D Ford, I think the Niners are going to tear this Falcons defense apart and win 42-21. That's what I got. What do you think?